The road to democracy is not irreversible, not in Moscow, not in America, not anywhere. After erecting a Potemkin village for democracy, for an agonizing decade or so, the Russians thrust forward a strong man amid the chaos, a strong man who was determined to reassemble the pieces of a broken empire, in the process strangling Russian democracy in its cradle. Vladimir Putin would go on to be president, and he is president still. And just as he hijacked democracy in his own country, he is determined to do so everywhere. Denial of this reality will not make it any less real. This is something that is staring us in the face right now as we are gathered here today. As we in America, during this moment of political dysfunction and upheaval, contemplate the hard-won conventions and norms of democracy, we must continually remind ourselves that none of this is permanent, that it must be fought for continually. Civilization and the victories of freedom, history itself, are not a matter of once achieved, always safe. Václav Havel lived this. The lovers of democracy I met in Namibia lived this. Our children, whose rights and prerogatives have never been in doubt, are for the most part unaware of it. But we are being powerfully reminded just how delicate all of it is right now. The stability of tested alliances, the steadiness of comportment, and the consistency of words and deeds sum up the best of water's-edge post-war American consensus on foreign policy. It might seem that all of this has lately been tossed around like pieces on a board. But it's important to remember that we have seen such tumult before, and it is a genius of the architects of our liberty that we can withstand it and emerge the stronger for it. What struck me in Namibia that day with such force, and has stayed with me ever since, is how vital a beacon the United States is and has always been to the peoples of the world, both to those who are already free and those who still suffer in tyranny. Mr. President, it is a solemn obligation that we have as Americans. Let us recognize from this place here today that the shadow of tyranny is once again enveloping parts of the globe. And let us recognize, as authoritarianism reasserts itself in country after country, that we are by no means immune.